Good morning, y'all. So it is Friday, the 23rd of December, and I got the guy here. First of all, can we say shout out to my neck? Shout out to my neck, y'all. My neck is coming in. Praise God. So he is out here just doing the work of the Lord, because that grass was high, honey. I don't understand if this is a certain kind of grass that sprouts up very quickly. The actual grass is very short. The actual grass is down here, but then there's this wheat looking stuff that just popped up in like a week, and they look like fields of grain. But anyway, so he is going to finish cutting that grass, and then he's going to take the pallets away from me. He got his little trailer out here, so he's gonna take them pallets. Praise God. And I got pallets in my truck, so I'm gonna see if he can take those too, because I just don't want to take. But y'all, when I tell you that the end of 2022 has been challenging as fuck, I couldn't take them pallets if I wanted to. You know why? Because Miles was washing the truck the other day and he locked the keys in there. So I have a locksmith on the way right now to get the keys out. But guess what? That shit costs $100 in cash. So they're here. The guy is here to get the door open. Oh, he got it open. Look at it. Praise God. Rest in peace to my little coins, honey. Rest in peace. Child, that joint took 5 minutes. He was in and out, honey, but ta-da. Ah, man. These are the brakes. Break it up, break it up, break it up. But at least I got them. And yeah, he's almost finished with the front and in the back, and we'll be good to go. Y'all want to hear something crazy though? Something island crazy? So I just went to the post office to try and mail an iPad up to the States. And I wanted to send it priority. So when I put it in the package, everything, blah, 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 blah. I got the bubble mailer, and the lady was like, oh, what's in the package? I was like, oh, it's an iPad. She said, is it new or is it used? I said, it's used. And she was like, oh, that gotta go ground. She was like, because they have a lithium battery in it, it can't go on the plane. I'm like, so if it was in my carry-on bag, I could take it onto a plane with me to use for entertainment, but it can't go under a cargo plane. She was like, yeah, now you understand.
Yeah, no.
And I was like,
because that shit don't make no sense.
so it's going ground from an island? So even though technically it still has to go on a plane to get off of this island and get to the mainland, there's no ground delivery over water. How long is this going to take? Oh, that's going to take 3 to 6 weeks. Man, please get the hell out of my face. Please get the hell on with that bullshit. So I went ahead, grabbed my little packaging, and I'm just going to go ahead and take this to another post office. When they ask me what it is, oh, it's a book. Because it is. It's a digital book. So literally, after paying $100 to have the truck unlocked, which took 5 minutes, and then the lawn guy just got finished with my lawn and is taking some pallets for me to get dumped, and I'm following him now that I'm, in the truck. I had to pay him $250. So that was $350 in the past 30 minutes. Nobody talked to me right now. And it had to be in cash. In today's episode of What the Fuck, Sinai. So, it's Christmas Eve. I decided, I don't know if anybody is up there visiting my man right now. So, I'm going to give him a call, talk to him, brighten his day so he's not just laying in that room. So I called to the nurse's floor. I let them know, hey, I'm trying to, give a call to my husband, but the phone is on the right side of the bed and not the left, and he won't be able to pick it up. Could his nurse or someone, just when I call, can they just grab the phone for him, and hand it? So she said, sure, I can do that. Okay, cool. Shout out to you. Her name is Angie. Shout out to you, Angie. You've been very pleasant every time I talk to you. So, I gave it a couple minutes. I call over there, and then I hear him breathing on the phone. So I know he's there. He's breathing. He's holding the phone. All right. So I'm talking to him. I'm explaining to him what's going to happen next week, giving him updates on what's going on with him. And I'm kind of squirming around. He's getting a little bit interested. I hear his breathing change. So, okay, we're good. We're having a good conversation for what it's worth. And then all of a sudden, I hear voices in the background. I hear ladies' voices in the background. So I'm guessing his nurse came in. I'm like, oh, babe, you got somebody coming in. Did it click up? So I call back, Angie. I don't know what just happened, but I was talking to Nick, and then all of a sudden I heard some people come in the room, and then the phone went dead. It got hung up. I just wanted to make sure, that the nurses understand that his wife was talking to him, and that was extremely rude. So she calls over to the room, and she's like, hey, and she at whoever, well, I think her name was Nasir. Hey, Nasir, are you in the room? And apparently the nurse said yes. We're about to clean him up, this, that, and the other. And she's like, oh, okay, so you and the tech are in there, because he was, talking to his wife. So, she gets back on the phone with me, and she's like, yeah, they came in the room and they were cleaning him or whatever. So, that's probably why the phone got disconnected. No, that's unacceptable. I said, so here's the thing. Can you please let your nurses know that from time to time, either me as his wife or other family members may call to speak to him. So he's not just phantomly holding the phone or picking up the phone. I think they think that he's an invalid. And I'm like, to just take the phone out of his hand like that and just hang it up without seeing if anyone is on it is rude as fuck. And honestly, I'm annoyed. Because what is that? Number one is inconsiderate of the person on the phone. Number two is inconsiderate of him and his feelings. He can't talk. He can't speak for himself. And you literally snatched the phone out of his hand while he's talking to his wife on Christmas Eve. And hung it up so that you could bathe him. Sinai, your days are numbered, and I'm coming to get my man. Because what the hell was that? So I'm like, yeah, that's the no. You need to let them know that that's not acceptable and never to do that again. She was like, oh, I totally understand. I'm so sorry about that. I'll go down there and talk to them and let them know, that you was on the phone with him, and like, don't do that. Yeah. Like, that's common fucking sense. You see this man is holding the phone to his ear and he's talking. Well, not talking, but he's listening. Don't just assume that he's just playing with the phone. Pick up the phone from him. First of all, ask. He's an adult. You can still ask for consent. Mr. Clark, do you mind if I take this phone from your hand? Like, even if he can't answer, you can still ask to show empathy. Mr. Clark, we're about to clean you up. I'm sorry, I need to take this phone out of your hand. Then pick up the phone. Hello, is anyone on here? Hi, this is his nurse. Yeah, we're about to change him. So do you mind giving us a call back? Like, that's not too hard. I just don't think that's too hard to ask. So I'm pissed off. So I'm going to call back. And she was like, yeah, just give them a couple minutes to call back. So I'm going to give them a call back in 20 minutes so I can finish talking to my man. But what the hell? I'm so over this whole situation. Like, this whole situation. I'm like over it. My baby need to come home. So latest update on this holding my husband medically hostage here in the hospital. Literally just got off the phone with Dr. Birnbaum at Sinai Hospital in Baltimore. Dr. Birnbaum is his attending physician right now. Okay. I waited until Tuesday to see if he was going to rotate off of the case. He's still on there. Okay, fine. It's fine. So when I talked to Dr. Birnbaum on last Friday, I said, I was talking to him about the fact that Nick was on restraint on his left arm. I did not like that. He's not able to, go through rehabilitative care or treatment or anything with this restraint on, which is prohibiting him from being discharged from the hospital to a lower level of care or to the next level of care. And I'm like, we just can't keep him on the restraints. This is not going to work. So he was very snarky with me and was like, well, I guess we can, put a sitter with him, for 24 hours to watch him, blah, blah, blah. Fine, whatever. Sir, just do your job. So that was on Friday. Now we got Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Today is Tuesday. 4 days later. He was supposed to be in with the sitter for 24 hours for observation. So I called today. Well, actually, I called earlier and I asked for Dr. Birnbaum to give me a call back. So he just gave me a call. So I'm like, I'm really trying to be just so cordial and at the same time, pressing for information. So I'm like, hi, Dr. Birnbaum. I was just, following up with you to determine, from the last conversation that we had on Friday, you mentioned that you were going to go ahead and have a sitter assigned to him for 24 hours so that you could observe, whether or not he was going to be pulling on his tubes, etc., to see if we can take him off the restraint. He's like, oh, yeah, well, long story short on that, that never happened. I never did that. But good news is he's been off of restraint since we last talked. And I just want to let you know, it appears that he's not pulling on his tubes or anything like that. He's even been, working with the physical therapy team. And, he hasn't really touched anything. But he did reach over and grab his right arm. It seemed like he was maybe in pain or something like that. So we're just going to give him an x-ray just to make sure that nothing's kind of going on there. And, do some pain management. Okay. Yeah, I bet his arm does hurt. It hasn't been moved. Nobody's moving it. Physical therapy finally came. For once in 2 weeks. They finally came. And yeah, I'm sure his arm does hurt. He probably got pins and needles. Joints stiff. All types of things. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, great. So, just to let you know, he was like, so we can look at, he told me so we can, get some information back. We should have some information back, by the end of the day today. Now that we're past the Christmas holiday about, moving him to a facility. I said, okay, that's great. Well, just to let you know, because we are out-of-state residents and we maintain residency in the state of Arizona, if it seems like Maryland does not have facilities that will meet his needs, we will be taking him home. We will be taking him to the state of Arizona for a rehab facility there. He's like, oh, okay. So I was like, but in prepping for that, who's his current neurologist? And he's like, well, he doesn't have a neurologist, just kind of assigned to him. It's just like a team of neurology, etc. I said, okay, because, in prepping for him going back home, he's going to need to have his flap put back in, which is the piece of his cranium that they took out to reduce the swelling, because he had swelling on his brain when he first arrived on November the 12th. Here we are at December the 27th, December 27th. I'm like, yeah, because, we're six weeks in here, so I would love to hear back about a ETA on getting that put back in. Oh, yeah. Well, he doesn't actually have, an assigned neurologist, but I can definitely, talk to the neurosurgery team, and then, we can see about that date. Neurology hasn't really been following him recently with the other things that have been going on. With what other things? Ain't nothing else going on. Just say he has not been followed by neurology. I know that. Because I've been asking who his neurologist is to every nurse that I could speak to since I was there mid-December. Nobody could give me an answer. And every time the nurses looked in his file to see who his neurologist is, They couldn't find no information. Neurology is not following him. He's a stroke patient. How is neurology not following him? Y'all don't have neurology following him? To check on his functioning, to check and see where he's at, to check on milestones, add any modalities, treatments, whatever. Y'all don't have neurology following him. Yeah, he gotta go. I was like, well, yeah, so since we're, out of state and everything, it's very important to me that while we're doing this logistical move and looking at all these moving parts, that he has all of his parts to go with him. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it does. So go ahead and call the neurosurgeon and go ahead and put my baby brain flat back in so we can get the hell on. So that's today's fuckery with Sinai Hospital of Baltimore, who literally have a stroke patient that is not being followed by a neurology team closely. And is finally being taken off restraint. And they're finally noticing that he's fine. He's not pulling on his tubes. He's relaxed. He's good. He didn't need any sedation. He didn't need any behavior modification drugs as was previously mentioned. And I was like, hell no. Yeah, he didn't need none of that. He just wants to go home and get the hell out of there. I'll keep y'all updated. Y'all, part 10 is coming up, and I'm going to try and get it all on one video. But yeah, we're out of here.